Welcome to my introduction to MegaWars. This is the login launcher program that we have. We have all the buttons here to get to the forums, to go to the support site, go to our Facebook page, to go to the wiki, to join our Discord channel, to be able to talk and chat about MegaWars. And we have the big play button here in the center. If you've already installed the game, it'll say install right here, and then it will download the game and get it installed. I'm running version 1.07008. So we've made some changes here recently to be able to get the tutorial to work correctly. So let's go ahead and I'll enter the game and we'll pick up from there. Okay, so this is the new login page. After the login page, then you're ready to enter the game and choose a war. So we have the create game button here. First button is quick start. Second is single player academies. And then we have multiplayer academies and join a multiplayer academy and join a MegaWars instance. So let's look at single player academies real quick. We'll kind of step through it. Combat training, we have easy. There's 5 cryon bases, even though there's about 40 stars. There's 5 bases that you need to find and destroy the enemies. This is a single player game. You're playing it by yourself, and it allows you to practice combat and that kind of thing. So as we go all the way down to Mega, there's 100 cryon bases. You have about a week to complete the task. These are scored and recorded so players can compete against each other individually, yet all together at the same time. So we have planet management random. It's 100 randomly generated stars, and that means there's just 100 stars there, period. That's just the way it works. It is what it is. Yeah, there is no set pattern. Planet management competition. This is actually fairly interesting. There are 6 planets. You have 100 hab, 100 hab, 15 metal, 16 hab, 25 metal, a 92 hab, 35 metal, a 98 hab, and a 70 metal. I'm going to slide this up so we can see through and not have the suns in the middle of the screen. A 9235, an 80, or sorry, a 9870, and a 9845. So these planets are scattered to be able to show how good you are at planet management. And these are scored on a quarterly basis, and the end of the game determines which quarter. So players are going to be able to compete against these, and the players' annual scores will be the sum of the 4 quarters. So if you miss one of the quarters, you're going to actually miss a whole section of that year's scoring. So make sure that you come in and play at least one to be able to compete in the planet management competition. So that's how that works. So I'm going to hit cancel. I just wanted to show you what those were. Create multiplayer academies. These are currently not available, so you click on this, and then if you were to hit OK, it would say, hey, sorry, we can't do that right now. They're not open until the middle of the beta. So we're still in beta, but these will come about mainly because I have to figure out how we're going to handle getting multiple players together. But the way this will work is it'll be from 2 to 5 players working against the AI, and then this would be 5 players versus 5 players. And that's the way that is going to be planned to do. And this is how you would join those. So one person would create it, and then everyone else would join. So the mechanics for how I'm going to handle that needs to be figured out. Join a MegaWars instance. This is how you get just into a regular MegaWars instance. There are none available right now because I'm already signed up for that war. So if I hit cancel, if I want to continue a game, you'll see here I have a quick start that's already created, and then I can join into the bronze that's active. So we're just going to go ahead and just jump into the bronze, and I'm going to command my ship, and then it will take and load the game at this point. And I'm in orbit. Okay, so if you haven't seen MegaWars here recently, we redid the background. All the stars are actually now fully in 3D. So when you rotate around, we have nebulas in the background. And I put a lot of work into it to make sure all the nebulas for everyone should be the same. So if you are in a war with somebody else, your background should look the same as theirs. So that's the way that it should work now. Okay, so you can see the planet I'm in orbit of is an Imperial base, 100 HAB, and this shows you this just being in orbit now. So that was one of the things that we changed. You had to come down here and you had to hover to be able to see what it was. I ended up just moving that over here. So this is what we're in orbit of. So I've still got just a slight bit of oddness when leaving orbit and going to another planet. I'll get that worked out here pretty quick. It flashed to the sun back real fast. And then then you mesmerize through the planet. So here is a lava planet. Has a nice good look to it. And then again we'll jump out and fly out to this other planet. And
entering orbit.
There we go. We're in orbit. These are cool. I like these. These have the lightning and stuff going on in them, so kind of cool. All right, so you can see the nebula sitting out there. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about the way the mouse moves. Okay, so I'm going to double right click. That'll stop my ship, okay? So this allows me to zoom in, zoom out. If I hold the middle mouse button, I can then rotate around just like this. And if I pull the mouse down, you're going to see it snap. That gets you right back into top view and gets oriented back to the galactic grid. Yes, I created the galactic grid. Cool sound. Okay, cool name. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to nav on out. We're going to go ahead and get past the gravity well so we can go into hyperspace. And I know that that's available when this number turns green and I get the go to hyperspace button. So this is hyperspace. I'm going to go ahead and hold my middle mouse button down, rotate around. This is the stars that I can see. It goes out the 300 light years. So basically you can see 300 light years out from you. I've already visited this system right here. This version's got an issue with that. Okay, so I can click on a system, nav to it, or I can send a probe to it. We also have down here the library, and so I can see this planet, and I can say, hey, I don't care if there's colonies, reload the library. So this tells me everything about the planets, and the planets you can't establish, it tells you that. I may change that so it's not so wordy. These are all fully sortable, so you can sort on the metals and the HABs, sort on the populations. All of that is available. So if you click on owner, you'll see all the owners at that point. I can also look for abandoned planets, which there are none at this point. Reload the library. Okay. All right. So if I do an OK there, I send a probe. This is going to be the way that you're going to want to scout. You're going to want to get into a position and then just start sending probes, because this is very quick, it's very efficient. You can send multiple probes at a time. Those all go out. I can pull up my report and I can say, okay, cool. I only want to see the planets that are over 90 HAB, reload library. So there's only one so far. Okay, so I can take this slider, move him down to 70 HAB, and I can say, hey, there's a 75 right there, inner orbit. So I could go to that system right there, which I can just click on right now. It highlights it, and I'm able to fly to that system. Okay. Now, across the top up here, we show how many torpedoes, how many missiles I have, maximum warp, maximum impulse, my current laser capacities, my shields, the heading, and the temperature of my engines, which I'm going to address here very soon after we get a little bit further into beta. The XY coordinates, how many probes I have, how much cash I have, fighters, and troops. So, and then you can hover over these planets and it tells you if there's bases or not. And if I rotate around here just like this, you can see the metals and the HABs. So you can see these are gray. I can't, or they're not good enough to do anything on. That out there is purple. It has 17% fuel. Okay. And there should be, yep, and that's all the planets. So I'm going to go back into hyperspace,
Engaging hyperdrive.
and I'm just going to sit here and launch probes. And you can do this in 3D. Let him get past
Probe launched. A probe has
distance.
returned. Probe launched. Probe launched. Probe launched. A probe has returned. A probe has returned.
And then let those probes come back, and you can see, there's some 74s and some 79s. And that way I don't have to spend a lot of time looking at everything here.
Launched.
And, sorry, that was my phone. Okay. Your radar tracks where everything is. Here again, this is according to the galactic grid, which is north. So if I pull my mouse down, you can see we lock directly back into north, south, east, and west again. I know there's no north, south, east, and west. You know what I mean. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Just trying to give you a basic idea of how all this works. But you can see all space is in 3D. Everything moves, and so I've tried to get us a beautiful environment to work in. Okay, everybody, have a good one, and the next video we'll talk about some combat.